Hey everyone, my name is Daniel Arroyo and I have been assigned to Group 3. Hope everyone had a great week and a great weekend. And if you didn't, well, at least you know school's almost over, so that's a good thing. But yeah, let's get started into this assignment that Dr. Guerrero has given us. Chapters 9 through 12. In reading chapters 9 through 12, we had something about energy balance in chapter 9, and then chapter 10 moved on into nutrition, fitness, and physical health or physical activity. And then you have chapter 11, nutrition during pregnancy and infancy, and chapter 12, nutrition from ages 1 to 100. Now, the chapter that I could relate to the most, or I liked the most, was chapter 9. And the sections would be on the America's imbalance, when we eat more than we should, or we eat too much and not do enough activity to counteract the caloric surplus that we're in. So a lot of people fall into eating too much, and I believe because that's kind of do with advertisement, and when they advertise foods that are super cheap, and the foods that are super cheap, they don't really fill you up. You kind of binge eat off that. So like the microwavable burritos, I see that advertised a lot when I go into the stores. They have a lot of sales on that, and they really don't fill you up from my experience of eating those. And they're, like I said, they're cheap, fast, easy to make, advertisements everywhere, and yeah. And another section that stood out to me on chapter 9 was about leptin. I didn't know how big of a hormone it was, and when I read about leptin, what I got out of it, it's kind of like a appetite regulator, or like it regulates your appetite so you won't be as hungry as much or gain fat as easily. And then moved on to chapter 10 about ergogenic aids, supplements to build muscles. So supplements such as amino acids, which are found in powder form or pill form, I believe. I'm not too sure. So you can either just have them as amino acids, or they're typically also found in protein shakes. They'll have a certain amount of amino acids, which I find is kind of a waste of money, because if you're eating enough protein, such as chicken breast, steak, ground beef, ground turkey, and any of that stuff, you're already getting protein from that. So as long as you have a sufficient amount of protein throughout the day, or just at the end of the day, I really don't see any need for amino acids. They're just a waste of money. And also about supplements to enhance performance in short, intense activities. So in this section, they found that creatine as a supplement is found in the muscle, where it is used to make creatine phosphate. And the higher creatine phosphate you have, your levels improve in performance in high intensity training, such as sprinting or weightlifting. So I've never had any experience with creatine besides in foods, because you get them from your foods, mainly in red meats. And like I said it before, they're found in your muscle, but supposedly higher levels of creatine make more creatine phosphate. And I also believe that's a waste of money, just because why waste more, or why spend more money when you can just get them from the red meats? So that's my 2 cents on that. And then supplements to enhance endurance. Supplements that increase the amount of fat or oxygen available to the muscle cells are used to increase endurance. Now, they talked about carnitine supplements, which are marked as fat burners. Fat burners increase the utilization of fat during exercise. We also ingest carnitine when we eat red meats. So again, another waste of money. Your body was meant to eat whole foods. So your body's better off eating the whole foods than from these supplements. And then they had caffeine. Caffeine enhances the release of fatty acids when fatty acids are used as fat sources or fuel sources. Um, which delays the delays fatigue. Caffeine usually works a lot better with athletes who don't use it as often, and I have used caffeine in my pre-workouts, which I find is really helpful because you may have the motivation to work out, but you just don't have the energy. Let's say you want to work out after class. You may want to work out after class, but your energy levels are probably aren't that high. So that's one supplement that I would recommend, some kind of caffeine, or just go to Starbucks and get a coffee from there. And so hope to hear from y'all soon, and tell me what you think about this video.